and millions of dollars could soon help improve public transportation in Cenla. Our Davion Telsey has more on it.
12 of the Transportation Improvement Program.
The Rapides Area Planning Commission met Thursday to review a proposed amendment to its Transportation Improvement Program. The amendment includes about $2.6 million in federal funding for ATRANS. The money comes through the Federal Transit Administration.
That amendment included lapsing funds of approximately $2.6 million for the transit program.
If approved, ATRANS could use the funding for things like keeping buses maintained, upgrading equipment, and improving the technology used by the transit system. The funding plan also includes money for automatic passenger counters, radio upgrades, and preventative maintenance. Even though RAPC held their meeting with the Technical Advisory Committee, there still needs to be another meeting on September 2nd to allocate those funds. The goal is to keep buses and other equipment working properly and make sure ATRANS can continue providing reliable transportation to people who depend on it. In Alexandria, for News Channel 5, I'm Davion Telsey.